So here we have a system of three equations with three unknowns. Once again, I am going to label these, this equation A, this equation B, this equation C. So when you have three equations with three unknowns, the most common thing to do is to use elimination, and you're going to choose two sets of these, so A and B, or A and C, or B and C, and you're going to decide to eliminate one of your variables. So if we look at this right now, if I look at equation A and B, it looks like I could eliminate the x really easily. I could also look at equation B and say, in equation B, the z is already eliminated. So our first goal with a system that's 3 by 3, we want to eliminate one variable to get two equations with two unknowns. So we have a choice here, okay? We have a choice. We can decide which equation we want to eliminate first, or which variable we'd like to eliminate first. So let's say you were looking at this and you saw A and B were already the opposite signs, and if I added those two equations together, my x's would go away. And you decided you were going to eliminate x. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay? So what's going to happen is you're going to take equation A and equation B. I'll rewrite them here. X minus 2y plus 3z equals 9. And negative x plus 3y plus 0z equals negative 4. If you add those together, you get 0 plus y plus 3z equals 5. I'm going to call that equation 1. So now what we've done is we've created a new equation with no x's. We now have to create another equation with no x's as well, using another two equations that we started with. So we can either use A and C or B and C. In this case, I'm going to take equation B and I'm going to multiply it by 2. And then take equation C. If I multiply equation B by 2, I'm going to get negative 2x plus 6y equals negative 8. And I have negative 2x minus 5y plus 5z equal to 17. If I add those together now, my x's cancel out. I'm going to get y plus 5z is equal to 9. And I'm going to call this equation 2. Now, typically, this is what you're going to have to do first. You're going to pick one variable to cancel, and you'll have to go through two sets of things to do that. That's typically what's going to happen. In this specific example, if you wanted to make it a little bit shorter, you could have said, I'd like to decide to cancel z first, because in equation B, I already have one equation without a z. So then I could use equation A and equation C to cancel out z, and that might be a little bit shorter. Although looking at equation A and C, to cancel out z, I would have to multiply equation A by a negative 5 to get negative 15, and equation C by a 3 to get positive 15 in order to do that. So it's a little bit more work canceling out that variable than it was canceling out the x. But you have that choice. You can choose whichever variable you want to eliminate first, as long as you now get two new equations with only two variables. So I've now created equation 1 and equation 2. And once again, I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to take my equation 1. I'm going to multiply it by a negative 1. So it becomes negative y minus 3z equals negative 5. I'm going to rewrite my equation 2, which is y plus 5z equals 9. Add them together, and we'll get 2z is equal to 4. So z is equal to 2. Once you've got one of your variables, we can now plug z equals 2 into either equation 1 or equation 2 to find out what y is. So if I go and I plug in z equals 2 into equation 1, I get y is equal to negative 1. And had I plugged in 2 into equation 2, I would have also gotten y is equal to negative 1. Then to find x, you could plug in negative 1 for y and z equals 2 into either a, b, or c. And so looking at those, if we decide, well, b looks like it's the easiest one to solve for, I have negative x plus 3 times y equal to negative 4. Negative x equals negative 7. No. Negative x equals negative 1. So x equals 1. We often write our solution as a point, and this would be a point in 3 dimensions. So you'd write your x value first, then your y value, and finally your z value. So your solution could be a point. So with a 3 by 3 system of equations, you first decide to eliminate one variable, and that reduces it to a 2 by 2. Once you've reduced it to a 2 by 2, then you can eliminate another variable and solve for one of your variables. So what I'm going to give you right now is a 4 by 4. You have to decide to eliminate one variable, which will get you down to a 3 by 3. And then you can decide to eliminate another variable to get you down to 2 by 2, and finally a 1 by 1. Oh, I'm running out of letters. And we're hoping that my mental math is going well as we write these down, because if I make one mistake while I make it up, it'll mean that your solutions will be could have bad numbers. So I'll put it up. You guys can start. I'll give you one more equation. There's your 4 equations. You can grab some scrap paper. And see if you can come up with a solution. The answer that you're looking for, so if you're going along here, you should get A to be 1, B to be -2, C to be 3, and D to be -4. And if you've solved this one, here is your next one.